So I don't freaking know the day. It's just passing by quick.
You were just,
Sometimes
you, you were just at work yesterday, and I know you signed in and everything. Saw your computer. You got a smartwatch on it. Use
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Hey,
You know what?
flash it real quick. Let me see.
Thing is sick, boy. Look at that. Oh, got it upside. Oh, it's backwards. Okay. So let me touch it in Patriots colors, boy. Look at that. Ooh, ooh.
So
Hey, uh,
you don't need your phone you don't need your phone, do you? You just talking?
only when replying to text messages and instant messages, stuff like that. I can reply to like Google Plus post and stuff like that. My mic is messed up, yo.
So you just hold your wrist up and be like, "Yo, I'm coming to the store," or whatever, blah blah blah. Or you can wear a Bluetooth headset and just talking.
Yeah, yeah. So if I want to reply to a text message, I just like hit the button and it says reply and it's talking to it. People look at me funny, and
I'm
then
with you.
yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Or if I really want to like reply on the phone, I just click open up on phone and opens up the app when I do the unlock screen. Calls, you have to go to the phone because the only couple of smartwatches that do that are the Samsung Tizen smartwatches. And if you are a douche, I just want to say this: if you are a douchebag that is walking down the street talking to your phone and it has the speaker on, because it has a speaker on one of the watches, and you just walk down the street and we hear your conversation, man, you are a total douche, man.
You,
Seriously,
you
just
seen
get a
people actually
Bluetooth
do that?
headset. No, you know what? Surprisingly, I haven't seen anybody really like sporting a smartwatch like that around here, which I'm surprised because.
I think you got to move to like the bigger cities, like New York City, probably like LA, somewhere in California, maybe Miami, the bigger cities. You know what I mean? I don't think you can be around in the rural type country areas like Atlanta, here in Charleston, any of those small places. You got to be in the big cities in order to actually see one. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, we got a lot of hipsters in like Midtown. I haven't been there in a while, so I might have to go to Midtown to see people in the wild with it. 'Cause they just have random stuff, they wear skinny jeans. They're iPhone fanboys here, so why not? Why not?
Yeah, and I think once I think we'll see a lot of them once the iWatch comes out. I think we'll
Mhm.
see a lot of smartwatches come around because pe- Apple pretty much they sell, so they're gonna be like, oh man, I gotta get a smartwatch. So all of a sudden, once the iWatch drops, I guarantee you 110% you're gonna see tons and tons of smartwatches around.
That's
So
gonna be hell, man. Like
mhm.
they're
Yeah,
gonna act like the smartwatch wasn't invented until when the iWatch comes out. It's like this is the first great invention for your wrist.
exactly right, exactly right. And guess what? It's gonna sell.
Yeah, you know.
We've already you and I already discussed that Apple knows how to market. They have quality, and people know that it's going to work. It's not going
Yeah.
to have any glitches. Whereas you see all these smartwatches that are out now, 360, LG G Watch, the S Watch, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have glitches. They're not going to come right out of the box. Where Apple, they said they waited when the iPhone was first introduced. They said they
Mhm.
waited 6 months after until they actually released it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they make sure their quality is up to par.
Yeah,
So
sometimes that didn't even work,
yeah,
because iCloud a piece of crap.
I don't even use iCloud, man. I use what I know: Dropbox, Box, and Google Drive. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More secure.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's start the show, man. You ready?
Ready.
All right. Everyone, everyone, thank you for tuning back into episode 3 of This Mobile World. New show. We got a retro cast. We got I got my old co-host back from the old show, the Cell Tech Junkie. Karon Brown is back. I am so ecstatic, dude. I posted everywhere like he's back. The prodigal son's back. All right.
I saw that post last week. I'm like the prodigal son. I never went nowhere, but I understand what you're saying. Like I have
Yes,
been
you
on the
did.
show. So it's all good, man. It's good to be back, man.
All right. So it's the 6th of September, 2014. We are back. The crowd is going wild. Oh crap! All right. All right. Shut up, crowd. All right. So there's a lot of news that came out this past week, man. A whole bunch of news.
Yep.
And I was kind of like waiting for it the whole summer because the whole summer is slow. I had the Mavcast going, and I was doing a daily show, and as soon as I started that, the tech news just dropped off. I was like,
hmm
and then we all knew when the fall hit, it was going to go all downhill from there. So we got September, and we got a whole group of smartphones. We got a whole group of smartwatches. I think we got the same amount of smartwatches as we do smartphones, if not more, which is crazy.
I would say more. I would say maybe one or two more than phones. I would say.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. So we got a lot to go over. We really got a lot to go over. But first, I want to say something about Swappa.com. It's not a sponsor. We don't have sponsors. But first, I would like to say Swappa.com is awesome. If anybody has bought a device off of eBay, slightly used, or whatever off of eBay, you know that sometimes you get price gouged. It's a thing. They go through PayPal. It's a great security thing if you have to do, claims or whatnot. But Swappa.com uses PayPal too. And guess what? They don't price gouge you. You're able to do free selling posts on there. Post as much pictures as you want. They have the Swappa staff that's in and out in the conversations. Make sure everything's on the up and up. Swappa.com. Make sure you go there for your wearables, your smartphones, and tablets. Swappa.com. You thought they signed me up? You thought they sent me an email to say, hey, go to Swappa.com, because I sound like I was reading off a promo, didn't I?
You really did. You really did.
Thank you.
That's why I'm like, you need to calm down with all that. But you good though. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing, bro.
So let's get into the smartphones. What you want to do first?
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Note 4.
Oh, the elephant in the room. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, you can't miss it, because I'm just going. I look right in the corner, and it's just there jumping at me, talking about me first, and that's exactly what I want to talk about.
So, what phone do you have now?
I'm currently running the iPhone 5S.
All right.
It's been my daily driver for about 6 months now.
And when you heard the news about the Note 4, did you like wet your pants a little bit? Or
No. Man, look. When I first heard the announcement, because we hear rumors, and rumors, and rumors, and rumors, and it gets you so amped up because all you want to see is what it looks like, what it's going to bring to the table, and what are the features and specs, and everything is going to. For me, I was kind of disappointed because it wasn't a different design at all whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it may have been 90% software, 10% redesign. Because the design now is it's steel. All of it's steel. The cameras moved, the flashes moved. They got the same leather back, but it's what's on the inside. And I spoke with a few people, and they said that hey, it looks the same, but sometimes looking the same is not always a bad thing. It's what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. So I'm kind of anticipating getting my hands on it, play with it a little while, and see what it brings to the table, and see what my decision is going to be come October.
Yeah, so I looked at it, and it looks not exactly, but very similar to the Note 3, which is not bad. Has that metal, like you said. You know what? The great thing about the back, with the leather back or the faux leather back, they got rid of the little dimple things that make it look like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, the stitching. Yeah.
I hated that. Well, you know what? It's funny. On my Nexus 7, it has that, but it's not as aggressive as the Galaxy S5 and the Note 3. But, I mean, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the same size as last year, which is great, because I was like, okay, they bump it up like 0.2 of an inch every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so it was 5.7 last year, almost 5.8. So are they going to put it at 5.9, damn near 6 inches? No, they cannot do that. There has to be a stopping point to where you're like, they can't get any bigger, or before people won't buy it. So they kept it the same size. They made the pixel density better. And it's quad HD, crazy quad HD. So LG came out with the G3, which was quad HD, but somehow Samsung had a few weeks more to do some more research, and they made a better screen and made it a higher pixel density than that, which that was the LG's selling point over everything else, was the nice screen. Now what they have to go off of, because everybody is paying attention to the Note 4 now, not that G3.
But you know, Samsung is gonna come with a beast anyway because that's what they do.
That's what they
You
do.
know that I mean, yeah, LG came out with the Quad HD screen, but come on, they had to have known that Samsung was going to do the same exact thing. You know what I mean? They were going to do the same exact thing, if not better. You know, because that's what they do. They're coming out with a 16 megapixel camera with OIS, optical image stabilization, whereas
It's about time.
that's what I said. Whereas you can see somebody running at maybe 5 miles an hour, and you could take a picture, and it's like they're still.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, what happened? Why did it take so long to do that? You know, that's what I don't get. The 3200 milliamp battery, same as last year, but the difference.
Talk about it. Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
The thing about this battery is that when you charge it up, it gets to 50% in less than 30 minutes.
Awesome.
And it has that that lightning port, if you will, charger. So I don't know. It comes 32 or 16. Wait, no, it's a 32 gig storage with an expandable of up to 128. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to expand your phone to the highest capacity level ever, I advise you to go to Amazon at $59.99. Look at me selling for Amazon for $59.99 to get a 128 gig SD card. So, I mean, it's from what I've seen, it's a beast of a phone, and they color same as the S5, the black, the pink, the white, and the gold. You know, so for me, I had the opportunity to use the Note 3 for a little while, but I had to get that iPhone itch out of me. And Charlie Mavry he's like, man, look, you need to pick a phone. You need to stay loyal to a brand, and we still have to talk about that, but that's another subject. But I just can't wait to see this phone, man, and see what it can do. You know, the S Pen features are completely different. You know, they have it to where if you're in class, you could take a picture of notes like on a chalkboard, and when you bring the phone down to your face, it will tell you, it will save those notes in the phone to where it's like you did it, you know, and it will tell you exactly what those notes are about and everything. So the phone is a beast, man. It really is, and like I said, I just can't wait to get my hands on it. Super fast, 3 gigs of RAM, whereas the Note 3 came with 2.
Yeah.
You know, so each time they're bumping up the RAM because the rumors were it was going to be 4, but it's only 3, which is still hella fast. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
You don't need 4 gigs of. You don't need that yet. I mean, it's still a beast with the 3, but you don't need the 4 yet. I mean, you're getting into like laptop area right there, right?
I would be surprised the Note 5, if that's what they call it next year. I guarantee it will be a Note. It will be up to 4 gigs. I almost guarantee you. And like you said earlier, I don't think it's going to be 5 point. I don't think they'll bump it up to 6-inch phone.
I hope not.
Because the only 6-inch phone out there is the Sony Ultra. I think that's what they're calling it. It came out last year. It also has a Google Edition model out there, but it's the only 6-inch phone out there, and that thing is huge. That's what she said.
Did you see Did you see the Galaxy Mega that came out like last year too?
Yeah, but the specs sucked. It had no type of software specials out there. with it. It was just a big phone. That was it. It was just a big phone.
It was a pancake. That's what it
Right.
was.
Right. Exactly.
Big ass pancake that you
Hmm.
can make calls on.
Yeah, man. That's it. Up to your face.
Up to you. Hey, that thing is almost like a serving tray. Like, hey, here's your drink, and you have a call. There you go.
Right. That's all it was. It was just a big table in your pocket. That's all it was, man.
So the whole thing about me downsizing my phone was the fact that first of all I had a big lump in my pocket, and
Hmm.
then everybody can see what's going on my screen. But we're going to get to this later of how I might be forced anyway to go back to a large phone if I upgrade. But you brought up the whole taking pictures of notes on chalkboard thing. That is very underrated because I'm in conference. I am in meetings all the time where people are writing on the board, and people use the iPhones, like the company iPhones, to take pictures of the notes. And I can't tell you how many times that they're like, man, you know what? Now I gotta look at this picture and write down all these notes.
Right. Right. And that's that. And that I think that Note 4 is going to complement everything that phone is used for and what it's used for because people really don't use that S Pen like it's supposed to. But I think they will really take advantage of that phone and like you said the note processing of that phone. So like I said, man, it may swoon me a little bit. And let's not forget the VR that came out that's used with that phone. I know it's not in our broadcasting right now, but there is a virtual reality headset that's coming out in a few weeks that complements the Note 4 and the processing that it has in that phone. Whereas when you put that note inside it, you can go to different. It has a program where you can go to different areas. You can go to what they said Tony Stark's mansion
Hmm.
of Iron Man. You can go to space. You can go to jungle walk, safari, things like that. But like I said, that's a different topic. But you gotta realize that phones come out, there are plenty of accessories with these things, and the power that because people don't notice the power that these phones have until we actually get them in our hands or do the research, and it's like, damn, all I see are numbers. But when you get it and you start playing with it, yeah, it's a whole different level, bro. A whole different level.
I totally agree because I saw the VR headset to kind of go on your head, and
Hmm.
it's powered by Oculus.
Hmm.
I was intrigued by it. Google has a cardboard one, which is not as like extensively featured, but you can put your Android phone in there, and if you're running 4.4.4, I believe, and you can go in there and look at some stuff. Is kind of cool, but this actually can change the game for Samsung to make more people come over to the ecosystem, more of the nerds, more of the
Hmm.
hardcore gamers, because hardcore gamers are more likely to get Samsung products than Apple products, so they
Right.
win there. That because you have more capabilities with doing things with your phone, more horsepower. You know that the thing that I didn't hear though, which I don't know if it's going to be out there, maybe I missed it, but is it 64-bit yet?
The only 64-bit that's out is that HTC phone. I'm not exactly sure of the model, but it's not 64 from what I heard. So
I,
I'm not. That I would have to research on that.
I think they missed the mark in terms of the spec race
Hmm.
because the iPhone last year's iPhone has 64-bit. I thought that we would have seen Samsung hit that 64-bit. We don't need it technically, but if you want to compete, and Samsung's always innovating with adding specs that we don't know what we're going to use it for anyway.
Right, right.
I was surprised that they weren't first to the game with having a 64-bit chip, but whatever. That's one thing Apple has over everybody else, well, except HTC, but no one's really going to buy HTC. That's a whole nother conversation.
Hmm.
Um, and here's the thing, HTC. If you really want to get hype in the game, you got to have some type of debut during the fall where the juggernauts release their stuff. Like Samsung has their release of their mainstream Galaxy S5 during the spring, but You gotta have a product come out and announced when the fall hits. Samsung is good doing the unpacked for the Note series and
Hmm.
whatever else that they have other than the Galaxy S series. Apple has theirs and Google has theirs. So ACC, this is why you're not winning right now because your timing is off. They always debut their phone before the Galaxy S5, which they get a good 2 weeks of airplay before before
And you don't hear
Samsung
about them no
hits.
more.
Don't hear about them. They make good stuff, but it's the fact that okay, yeah, you heard about the HTC phone? Yeah, I want that. Ooh, but Samsung's coming out with something in a month. Maybe I should wait and see what they have.
But
And
you won't hear that. When the HTC One M8 came out,
mhm.
I only saw one person with it. I only saw a friend of mine. I went to his job and he was like, "Hey man, what phone are you?" I said the iPhone 5S. He's like, "Look, I'm running the M8." I haven't heard about the M8 anymore after that. That was it.
Yeah.
You know. So it is what it is. Same. It's the same thing with Windows. But they have their own operating system. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The only thing about their phones is they just keep getting bigger and bigger. I'm just like, dang, for real? Like they'll have a 5.7, a 5.8, 5.9.
And still a piece of
I
crap.
don't know, man. I can't say that I can't knock them because they're doing their own thing. That's what separates them from Android. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah, if we talk about Windows Phone, we just got to talk about Windows Phone and BlackBerry because they're the bottom of the barrel. I mean,
Hmm.
like it's it's hard to even put them in conversation because they're so out of the race of market share. So
Hmm.
yeah,
But
whatever.
they have their customers though. You
Yeah,
can't knock them because they still have their loyal customers, and that's
Xbox loyal Xbox people that wanted the full
exactly.
tie-in. Yeah,
Exactly. So it's like if you got an Xbox, it would make sense to get a Windows Phone because of uh the tie-ins with it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
all right, let's move on. Hold on, let's move on. Sound like the Undertaker just now. So the Note 4, great, awesome. Note 4. However, we got another iteration of the Note 4. We got the Note Edge. I remember last year that they had this curved screen technology on a phone that was only released in Korea. No one cared about it, and I'm surprised they're trying to bring this to the U.S. market. I mean, it's innovative, right? They have curved screen that actually does stuff, but when you sit back and think about that Note Edge, which is awesome, awesome in innovation, practicality, good. But when for use case scenarios, can you please tell me what use case scenario on a daily basis that you're gonna have and not mess up that screen?
You're gonna mess that screen up, hands down. You're gonna mess that screen up. Uh, First of all, I'm not gonna call the phone ugly. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's ugly. The only way I can say that it's weird and it's awkward. Um, I think my boss yesterday said, "Man, that's the baddest phone I ever seen." I'm like, "Dude, that phone is ugly." And he shout out to Drake. You know, uh, the phone is very awkward. The reason why I say people is awkward is because just imagine that you're holding a note in your hand, and the right side of the screen is going at a slope. That's exactly what it looks like. Um, if you still want to, if you still don't understand what we're talking about, just Google it or YouTube. Just say Note Edge. Um, there is a what I call it a scroll bar. Charlie calls it a ticker. Um, it's or you can call it an edge bar. But all the multitasking, it's off of that bar itself. I'm not sure. Did you see a S Pen? I didn't see an S Pen with it. Did you
No
see an
S
S
Pen
Pen
in
with it?
it. No, no S Pen.
The reviews that I saw, the S Pen was gone. It was just that little slot that the S Pen is for. But all the functionalities are off of that side of the screen, and it's very weird looking. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So you can see all the pictures of the Note Edge how it tapers off. Like what do they call it? The zero something pools that make it seem like it's just running over the side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the weirdest phone I've ever seen in my life. Besides, I remember Sprint came out with a phone with a double. It was like a double phone, and you just open it up like a book, and it had like two.
Kyocera, the Kyocera, I think it was the Echo or something like that.
Something weird, but I
Yeah.
think it
Somebody
comes second
bought
to
that,
that.
I knew, and I told them to take it back immediately.
Okay, that was because it looks like a what is it? A 3DS, pretty much. That's all it was like a 3DS.
You hit the nail on the head, man. I didn't.
Um, and the Note Edge is very innovative. It's outside of the box. You know,
Mhm.
I give Samsung that, and I won't say people won't buy it because there's going to be that one person that says, "Man, this is different. I want to try it out." From what I've seen, if you're looking at videos and you have to watch the landscape mode, it doesn't take up the whole screen. It cuts it in half, and it uses the actual screen instead of using that curved part. So, in my opinion, every phone has its pros and cons. To me, the phone as a whole is a con. So, you know, it's I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say about it. It could be slick, you know. They're gonna have to make some funky cases for it, you know.
Well, they have a case, but I don't. It's not gonna make it look good. It's
It,
really not.
it's just a weird phone. That's all I can say. I don't have really anything to say about it. But Samsung pretty much thought outside of the box. You know, I commend them for that because that's what us as uh, tech fans have been waiting for, waiting to see what somebody's going to do. You know, and Samsung just so happened to do it.
So here's the
Uh,
flaw. Here's the flaw with the screen. I'm not left-handed, but imagine if you were left-handed.
mhm.
You cuff the phone like this, and it's a big screen. It's a big phone too now, so it's not this small to where you can like go around it with your hand. And I have like regular sized man hands, but
Right.
you're gonna hit this, especially women. They're gonna hit the edge. They're gonna activate an app that they didn't want to activate. If you hit it with if you have this side, it's going to hit the side of your hand where the palm is. You're going to always hit something that you don't want. So you have
Yeah.
to hold it. You have to hold it with like this, and always use the other hand, or just figure it out. It's a learning curve, and that means you're going to have more potential to drop the phone.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It's an accident waiting to happen. You
Yeah.
know, it really is. Like I said, there are going to be a couple of people that have the phone. I'm not going to knock them, but me being me and my curiosity, I am going to go to my local T-Mobile store and I'm going to check it out and see exactly what this thing looks like because
Hmm.
come on, it's what people do. We
Yeah.
want to see what the next best thing is and what it looks like. And they're going to have some people that say, "Hey, they're going to try to sell you that phone." But not me. You know, so like I said, it is what it is, man. I mean, you can't knock it. You can't knock Samsung for trying. You know.
And they tried. They always get criticized for like throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And
Hmm.
we got some good stuff out of that. The Note, the whole Note series was one of those things that they threw at the wall and they wanted to see if it stuck. And they didn't think it was going to be as mainstream as it is. Like either people want and it's a paradigm shift, right? So a
Hmm.
lot of people were like, "Ooh, I want the next Galaxy S device," but
Right.
now you're seeing women with small hands and purses with the larger purses that are coming out with. Thank you, Michael Kors and everybody. Um, but they're like, I need a bigger phone to go along with my bigger bag, and they're like, "Ooh, I don't want a tablet. I want both together." And
Right.
and this is a whole thing of a culture that fit into Korea because it is a Korean company. Over there, it's a different thing. They don't have tablets and phones. I mean, you do, but you're more likely to have one device that does everything. I mean, devices over there still have like antennas to watch TV on.
Hmm.
So they want that big screen to do everything. And the multitasking on the Note 4, and we didn't even talk about that really, but the multitasking we can go on for the Note 4 for like an hour and
Yeah.
longer, but you know it's a great phone. If you have the Note 3, I would question the upgrade. But if you do not have the Note 3, if you have a Note 2, if you have a Galaxy S4, or if you're up for an upgrade, like if you're with T-Mobile, you have that 6 months, six month
Jump.
jump.
Hmm.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, deal with it for 6 months. If you don't like it, trade it in and get something else. But I would say, I mean, if you do have the the Galaxy Note 3, and you're on the jump, just go ahead and do it because you're going to roll into the next payment anyway. But if you're with another carrier that you can't do that, I don't know if it's actually worth the upgrade. I mean, the camera's great, but it's something that I don't know if it's worth the upgrade. And it's kind of going to be the theme here with a couple of the other phones. Well, actually, the only other phone we're really going to talk about because no one cares about the Sony phone. But if we can segue into the Moto X and talk quickly about that before we get to the plethora of wearables. The Moto X 2014. You were having a conversation with me about the code names of this thing. Apparently, we were both wrong. So it was not the code name was not the Moto X plus one. It happened to be something stupid, which is listed in the settings. I can't remember. But at the end of the day, they call it the Moto X 2014, which is fine with me, right? It's totally fine with me. It makes it easier for adoption and see who has what. Like I have the Moto X plus one. Get out of my face, nerd. But they have the Moto X 2014. Now, the thing about the Moto X that I loved, especially coming from the Note series, is that it gives it a smaller package in a 4.7-inch screen, and I can hold it and not feel like I had a monster of a phone.
Right.
The phone was basically stock Android with some enhancements. The camera, whatever. Camera kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
The active display, which you can see right here, notifications when you move it, had the touchless controls on it. So if you say, "Okay, Google," say it.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Okay, Google now.
Not to fail.
On camera failed twice. There it goes. There it goes. I don't know what's going on.
Oh man.
I don't know. I'm
To fail.
sorry. Yeah. So yeah. Wow. Thank you. But it had all those features that I love. Now it retained all the great features. They rebranded some of them. So like active display is crap. Let me look at the notes here. Moto display now. So they rebranded everything Moto to go around with the Moto theme. You have the touchless controls, which is the voice actions, which epically failed on me just now. That is called Moto Voice. And the cool thing about Moto Voice, what they did with this is you can change. You don't have to say "Okay Google," which it worked that time. But you can change it to say, "Okay, dude," "Okay," whatever you want to call your phone, female name or whatever. If you're lonely, you can call it "Okay, best friend," whatever. But you can change it and it can still do the same touchless control actions, and it somehow enhances it better to do so. You can now post to Facebook and Twitter if you have the apps installed, which is great, which you couldn't do before. So I do like that. Now, my only gripe about it, which I was alluding to when we first segued, is that this phone is now over 5 inches. It's 5.2 inches. So I'm forced to get a plus 5-inch phone again. So if I do choose to upgrade, which I probably will, either to the Note 4 or to the Moto X, I am going to be forced to have a phone that is over 5 inches. I am not as pissed off as I was a couple of days ago about that, or yesterday, but I'm still kind of pissed off because I liked the whole sub 5-inch screen.
Now, does that phone, does the new Moto X has expandable memory and removable battery, or
No.
or what? No. Okay.
So it's going to have 16 and 32 gigs. So we don't know the pricing of the 32. I assume it's $199 on contract, but it's $99 on contract with the 16 gig. So 32 gigs probably going to be $199. It doesn't have removable back. So the last year's didn't, or the current model doesn't. It has. Here's the cool thing about it. We saw it on the Fire Phone a little bit. But they have sensors. They have IR sensors around each corner. And the cool thing about this is you can do just like what Samsung did with their previous phones, with the Galaxy S series, is if you have a phone call and you need to reject it, you can swipe your hand over it. Or if you want to see the notifications, like I have to pick this phone up or rock it a little bit to see the active display, you can just swipe your hand over it and it does that. So that's great. That's another great feature. Now, the camera is 13 megapixel. Don't know if that's going to be great. I saw some shots of it. It looks better, but it still does. It's still not Samsung or LG good, or damn sure ain't iPhone good. No. No. But I think it's a good upgrade. It has faux boom sound speakers, so it has a speaker grill at the top so you can listen. It has a speaker grill at the bottom, at the front, so you can have better audio than it does with this this little. You can't even see it. Well, if I hold it right here, you can see the speaker grill right there. It has a big LED. So this LED is gone. There's no separate LED, but the ring around the camera is the whole LED. And it's supposed to make it a more warmer and natural looking picture when you have to use the flash. People don't use flashes anymore. I can't tell you the last time I used a flash.
You think so?
I mean, look, if you're gonna take a picture in the dark, don't take it. I would say that the only use you have for a flash is if you're in the club taking a picture. Tell me what other instance you have of taking a picture with your smartphone to where you have to use a flash. I'll wait.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, in the club, you see a lot of people taking pictures in the club or whatever, and they have their, that's the only time. That's the only right. That's the only time you actually see it. But during the daytime, no, it's pointless. So
see,
yeah, you're right. But at the same time, the only phone I see right now who has the best camera and in and out of darkness is the iPhone. I'm not an Apple fanboy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm not an Apple fanboy.
It's the truth, though.
Since I've had it, and Charlie will tell you, I
have it too. I have it too. Trust me.
I'll ask him about a phone, and he'll be like, "Oh Lord," because he already know what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What about the camera?" Because I care. As long as the phone has a bad, nasty camera, I'm all about it. But if the camera sucks, that's why my inner battle with the iPhone and the Note is because the Note really didn't have a good camera. Because the phone has 16 megapixels, 64 megapixels, or whatever. Disregard that. Don't pay attention to the megapixels. Don't even pay attention to that because that doesn't mean a damn thing at all whatsoever. It does not.
I take that. No. I want to debate that because HTC has that same ideology with their 4 megapixel camera. Megapixels don't matter. We're gonna call it ultra pixels. I would say to an extent it does. Now, if you are 8 megapixels and above, it doesn't matter. If you're at least 8 megapixels, but if you're 4 megapixels, dude, in 2014, if you are still 4 megapixels, megapixels do matter.
Okay, all right. Because let me backtrack since you said that. Because I'm at work and I have to take a picture of shipments that come in. My picture is more crisp and clear, even though it's an 8 megapixel camera. But if my supervisor takes a picture with he has a Note 2. The pixels matter because it broadens out and you can see you can see everything in that picture. So it's like an 8 megapixel camera would shrink a little bit. But even though it shrinks, everything comes crisp and clear. You can see a dust on an object versus if you take versus taking a note picture and everything is like real kind of like grainy a little bit, if you will.
I think it all comes down to the sensor and the optics.
Yeah.
And Apple's software, because they make their own baseline software and not a mask on top of Android or another OS. I mean, it's Qnix when it comes down to it. But anyway,
Right.
that's that's a whole nother show.
First of all, you need to stop using all these big words, brother. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I do read.
No, I mean, hey, I applaud you on that, bro. But I'm saying what Qnix and all this mess. But go ahead.
Yeah, so they could better fine tune the software with the hardware, whereas you still have a little bit of hurdle with Android, because every stock Android phone has a subpar camera. LG and Samsung do well in spite of that because of their overlays. But you have Apple that just has, start to finish, they have hands on everything. I think that's the ultimate reason why they have a better camera. And I just want to say, I know people that say, okay, we have a great camera on this phone, I'm going to be a professional photographer. Please do not hype yourself up for that. I did one time hype myself up. It was like, okay, I know someone that has a DSLR. I can take a better picture than you. I lived in a lie for a few months because at the end of the day, you have a great phone on your camera, but if you wanted to be a professional photographer, get a damn camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Right. But Apple they have their hands dipped in Sony, I think. From what I've heard months back.
They had their hand dipped in a whole bunch of stuff. They still use Samsung parts. So that's why they killed a lot of their court battles. Because they want to go back to making good stuff and using Samsung components. Because LG's apparently is not doing the job like they wanted to do.
Right.
But, Sony doesn't make. They have good. They're known for cameras.
But I don't understand that.
It's Android. It's Android, dude. It's just Android.
Oh, boy. I don't get it. If you're Sony, and Sony is known for their quality projects, and everything that they sell, their number one seller right now, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, their PlayStation. That's the only thing right now that they're killing people on. They don't do good in phones. Clearly, we see that.
They have good ideas, but execution is kind of off. Yeah.
It's not kind of off. It's way off. It's way off.
They just need to make a stock Android phone and stop putting an overlay on it. They can and stop trying to make a broad enhancement on it because it's killing it. I mean, I don't know. People overseas like it. I don't know.
Right, overseas, but here in the States, a lot of people have. I don't want to say, I'm not down talking overseas at all whatsoever, but I think the thing is that we have more common sense, and we have a lot more geeks over here, and we know what we want, how we want it. You know what I mean? If something's not right, we're very quick to point it out, hands down. Not afraid to.
I just want to. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go.
I just want to. Someone commented on the show and said about the whole camera thing with the flash. They brought up a good instance to where you want to take a picture with your flash at night when you have a car accident, and you want to show the damage or what happened.
Right.
But God forbid that happens. I mean, God forbid that happens. Try to have your accident during the day is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, seriously. That's not gonna happen. Hey, hang on, let me rewind this accident. Let's wait till about 9 o'clock tonight, and then we'll hit each other. All right, cool. We'll be back at the same spot. That don't even make sense, dude. You gotta listen to what you just said, man.
I thought about it.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on now. And I just said something about common sense, man. You just That you just did another fail, bro.
Hey, look. We have situations to where we need our flashes on the phone.
Okay.
95% of your life or more or a higher percentage, you're not going to use the flash on your phone. It
I'll give
has
you
to
that.
be there, but it shouldn't be a selling point is what I'm saying.
I'll give you that. I'll
Okay.
give you that.
Just
I'll give you
like
that.
just like the two-toned flash that the iPhone 5s has, guess what? A week after they had that as a selling point, no one cared. Because at the end of the day, you're most likely not to use your flash at all.
That's why I keep my. I mean, I don't keep my flash off. I just keep it on auto. You know what I'm saying? Because when we have to do like inventories and things like that, I do need my flash, to take pictures because obviously you can't see anything. So I think it's pretty neat, with the auto and everything because if you're taking that picture, the phone automatically knows like, hey, this dude is in the dark, so it
Yeah.
it cuts itself on. So I commend that person for commenting on that because they're right. We are going to need our flash every once in a while. You know what I mean? So sorry, we really don't need it in a club, but that's more of a female base thing. You know what I mean? Because they do the selfies and the group pictures and the bridal showers and all that kind of stuff. So you can't knock them on that. So I commend that person on the commenting on that.
They gotta post it to Facebook so everybody can see how ratchet they are.
Exactly.
All
Well,
right.
see, I didn't say that. I didn't say ratchet. I just said the bridal showers and stuff
Sorry.
like that. You know, because downtown, I know a lot of times downtown here, they have to do the little contest with the bridal thing, and they have to do such and such in a timely manner. So, and they take pictures of it. So,
Get a
I'm not
real camera.
that camera. You know what I'm saying? They are our camera. They're not. Okay, somebody's not going to actually take out a camera. 95% of people right now are carrying their phones in their hand. They're not keeping it in their pocket. So if they're saying, "Oh man, let me take a quick picture of this right quick," boom, your phone is right there. You're not going to pull out an actual camera unless, like you said earlier, a photographer. A photographer is the only one that does that, or a tourist. If you're going to New York City, Paris, any place in another country you're going to visit, then you would take a camera with you. I see all these guys that go to IFA, the Unpacked, the game, the little EAS, the little shows that they go at. They carry cameras, yeah, but they also carry their iPhones with them or their mobile devices to take pictures and post them real quick. Now, I would say they carry the cameras for editing, 50-50 thing, you know, 50-50.
Look. I'm the only thing I'm saying is, don't expect to be a professional photographer with your smartphone camera. That's the only
Agreed.
thing. That's the only thing I'm trying to convey.
Agree.
Don't compare. Try to compare your pictures with a DSLR. You are going to disappoint yourself every time. And even if you have this stellar photo that you took with your phone, post it to Instagram, and you use that to post it to everywhere else, it sizes it down anyway. So whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's subjective. It's debatable.
Right, it
You
is. It
know,
really is.
you know. But at the end of the day, hopefully the Moto X has a better camera. Um, before we move on to the smartwatches, let's finish this up real quick because we're getting close to an hour, and let's try to keep it under an hour and a half.
Okay.
But have a aluminum ring around it that is basically for the antenna. It is going to also have, and I just forgot what I was going to say about that. Oh yeah, the backing. Included with the backing, we talked about the Note 4 having the faux leather back. This is going to have a real leather back. and the 2014 edition. You can choose that. Now it's going to be on Motor Maker. Now it's remained to be seen how long this is going to last you as a phone, because it's going to have real leather. So we got to see. Full leather is durable. Real leather on your phone, we don't know how it's going to work. So don't get mad at me if you buy the leather back and you're like, why does my phone stink all of a sudden? I'm just saying. I mean, because it absorbs everything. Real leather absorbs everything. The faux leather is still plastic at the end of the day. You just wipe that sucker off. And you drool while you fall asleep. That junk is gonna soak that sucker in, and it's gonna smell like your stale drool. I'm just saying, it's a leather back. Be careful about your choice. It's cool, but it might not be that practical long term.
But it seems like nobody else know that but you.
Look.
Because you said it.
Look. I'm not ashamed of it. I've
I'm
drooled.
just saying, who does that? Who sleeps with their? I mean, hey, we can talk about this later, but I'm
just saying. So if you put, let's say you put your phone, you're at the bar, you put your phone on the counter or the bar, and it has beer or whatever on it spilled, or you watching the game and put on your coffee table, you just happen to have a sprinkle of beer on it. You're probably not going to wipe it off immediately, so that's going to soak into the leather. So we're not sure how durable that's going to be over time when it has whatever wet substance other than water applied to it. I'm not saying you're going to drool on your phone, man.
Well, you said it. I'm just saying. You said it.
Some people sleep with their phone, but I mean
they do.
That's a whole other thing. But right. You ready to go to the smartwatches?
Let's go.
All right. Right. I was supposed to have an explosion right there, but whatever.
Here
we go. I know. It's technology, man. The Bluetooth connection just whatever.
Operator error, bro. Operator error.
All right. So we have on the notes the Zen Watch. Let's run through the Zen Watch real quick because that's the least interesting of the ones that we have. Zen Watch.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah.
Okay. So they hyped it up a lot, right? They hyped it up. Asus makes it, and the rumors were Asus was going to make a watch that was going to be least expensive than the other ones that came out. And the hype was, oh yeah, you got to get the Asus watch because it's going to be really good, but really low cost. That's a lie.
Good marketing, very good marketing.
Yeah, very good marketing, but when when they came out with that sucker, okay, so it's still square rectangular-ish, so it has better quality on the face. This is brushed aluminum. I would say this is good quality versus this totally plastic pebble. So it's good quality. It has a leather strap. It has Android Wear. I mean, it does everything else that Android Wear does. Pedometer. I think it has a heart rate monitor. I don't remember. I mean,
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't
think so. Yeah, they didn't say anything about that.
But everyone, other than the first LG G watch, every watch after that has a heart rate monitor. So I would say that it does because I watched the keynote or the live blog of it. I promise you they have a heart rate monitor. I just don't want to say 100% that they do, just in case I'm wrong. But I could have sworn that they have a heart rate monitor and it's a pedometer because they have some type of suite that they wanted to get you to buy into, which was health focused. So I'm just going to say that it does. Okay. 1.6 inches. People don't really care about that. I mean, it's a watch.
It's a watch.
Yeah. It's a watch. Are you really anal about the screen size when it's a watch anyway? Really? Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't believe how anal people are about that. So there's somebody on Google Plus or comment on is like if I didn't mention the screen size, they're gonna be like, well, what the screen size is? I'm like, man, it's a watch, man.
Watch, right? It's a regular watch.
It's a watch. But here's the thing about the pricing. I was like, okay, this looks good, relatively. They said $199, but that is translated into euro, not American dollars. So I did the conversion. What day did they talk about it? I think it was Tuesday or something. So I did the conversion as of Tuesday. 199 euro is 262 USD with some change on it. So that's more than the LG G Watch, the original one. It's more than the Moto X with the leather band. We'll get to the Moto X, not the Moto X, Moto 360. It's more than the Gear Live. I don't know who's gonna buy it. I really don't know. I don't know who's gonna buy it.
Now, when I first saw it, it had me. Because it's a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
It really is. But I don't think I would buy it. I don't think I would buy it either. It runs, like you said, it runs the same software as any other Android Wear. But it's not one of those. If you first see it, it jumps out at you because you're like, oh man, what is that? Just by the faces that you can get and just by the quality, the band, everything. It's a pretty watch, but I don't think I would spend $260 something on it.
No.
I don't think, especially me being me, and I know I want one, but I'm just waiting on that one watch that jumps out at me to say I gotta have it. You know what I mean? But we haven't gotten to that point yet, so I'm still waiting. But
Great segue. Great segue because let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? And we're skipping over one of them, but we'll get back to that because that's only a small segment of people that are going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
With the Moto 360,
right,
the watch that people wanted, the watch that people lusted over since Google I/O,
mm-hmm.
has come to fruition. Like, this is on sale now. Okay, so the watch is already sold out everywhere.
It just came out on Thursday.
It's sold out everywhere. Yeah, it's sold out. Okay, so it went on sale with Google Play, Best Buy, and some other place noon yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Okay, I thought it was Thursday.
And it sold out. By the time I watched the 404, yesterday's edition, which was, I mean, they recorded it midday Pacific time. When I lie to you not, when I watched it that night, they already said that junk is sold out. I went to look for it, nowhere. So
Dang.
people want it. Now here's the thing about it. I don't know if it's overhyped or what. So
it's overhyped. I think it's overhyped.
So do you want to run through the specs? Because you wrote all that.
Oh man, I thought you did some of it.
I did one line.
It's a 1.8 screen, Gorilla Glass display. If nobody knows what glass is, it's a indestructible glass, meaning you can drop it, it won't break.
Unless you get hit on a nail.
Yeah, or something. I mean, scratch. I'm guessing it's scratch proof too. Leather band, $250, and $300 for a metal band. Who wants a metal band? I don't know. You're gonna get at least 12 hours of a day's use out of it. An 8-hour workday, it'll last. But why would you need more hours in a watch unless you get a regular watch? I don't see any use in any more battery life than that. It's a regular watch. Like you said, it's an overhyped watch. Everybody wanted this watch. And now that it's out and it's sold out, I didn't know it was sold out. Yes. That's my first time hearing it because I thought it came out Thursday, but it came out yesterday, and it's already sold out. Who's wearing it? I don't know. Like we discussed earlier, it may be people in New York, Beverly Hills, whatever, down in Florida somewhere.
Images.
It all depends. Um, at first, when I saw it, I was like, "Hey, I want the watch," but I think I'm that type of person that I want something that not everyone has. Is that going to be hard to do? I don't think so. You know, see, yeah, it's a pretty watch too.
So
It's a pretty
my
watch,
whole
man.
thing people are looking past because of whatever reason, but you can see like the band, you can see the watch face, right? And
Hmm.
this bar at the bottom, that's the ambient light sensor. Where they had to put it somewhere, but I wish they would have put it in the bezel somewhere because your display gets cut off. Like even if your watch face is there, it gets cut off.
Right.
Now here's the inconsistent part, which pisses me off. When you put it on the dock and you have it charging, it gives you a like a alarm clock thing, like a the Daydream or whatever. They have the feature in Moto X phones, but that part where it's cut off from the watch face and the other application, it's not on that. So technically, you can use that portion of the screen, but they don't utilize it for some reason, which kind of pisses me off, and I don't understand that. Um, but yeah, so I don't
Every
know.
every other every other watch, every other smartwatch uses up the screen. That's the only one that does not use the whole screen. There's only one other watch that uses that screen, but we're gonna touch on that in a little bit. You know,
My
so.
question to you is: are you interested, knowing what you know about it now, seeing it? Are you still wanting the Moto 360, and do you think that people are still going to really
No.
want it like they used to?
Mm-mm.
I
Oh,
agree.
I don't think so. Uh, it's a looker, man. I think it's one of those things where I have to see it in person and I have to play with it. And I think that's what's going to happen when it comes down to me deciding what watch I want because we still haven't seen the uh, the
Don't
the.
say it. Don't say
Okay.
it. Don't
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and say it, but
don't
we're
say
gonna
it
we're
yet.
gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
We'll touch
Okay.
on that at the end, because
Yeah, there's still one other watch that I'm waiting to see. Um, but the Moto 360 for 250, no, I want to see something better. And like I said, there's only one other watch that I saw that to me was better, and that's the LG watch. But we're gonna touch on that, like I said, in a little bit. Um, I don't know. From what I've heard in reviews, everyone said that the 360 is very comfortable to wear. Very comfortable. It has a heart rate monitor, a pedometer. It's smooth looking. I'll give them that. But for 250 bucks, and that's what $9 cheaper than the damn the Aces. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you're still up there in the high price range. You know what I mean? So
If
I
this
don't know.
watch if this watch was available on swappa.com, lightly used, you can negotiate a price for like 180.
If
Would it,
that, if they'll drop it there.
all right, but you'll have to probably like wait a month or so for them to do that. So
Mhm.
that would be something that you would buy it then, basically. If it was below 200, you'd buy it.
I still don't know. I can't answer that because, like I said, I haven't seen anything really uh impressive about it. And not only that, dude, I have an iPhone. So it's not like I can use it anyway. You know.
Well, you're gonna
Um.
get the Note 4. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I mean,
I'm
no.
just
I would. No.
saying.
I wouldn't get it. Get it? No. No. Not yet.
All right, all
If
right.
that. If that.
So my whole thing about it is, we talked about this dilemma through text yesterday. If I so currently I have the Moto X as a phone, and then I have the Gear Live. I'm going to talk about Android Wear before this show is over, because I want to get people to buy in a little bit to it. But I have a Samsung watch basically, so I'm mismatch. I'm brand mismatch. You know,
Hmm.
I normally don't care about that, but these are two things I carry around all the time. I did have a Pebble, which is kind of still brand mismatch, but it was an Android mismatch. Okay, so you got Android mismatch. I was in the same ecosystem, but mismatch.
Right.
But think about it now, it's less of a problem than I thought of it. Thought it was like 2 minutes ago. But um, am I gonna be kind of like a person that should get the Moto 360 or another Motorola wearable if I get the Moto X, or should I just go to get the Note 4 since I have a Samsung watch? I
That's
mean,
a good. Yeah, you know what? That's a good question.
because
That's a good question.
when they think about it, it's easier for me to get a Samsung watch to get the phone to match. Because if I get the Moto X, I have to get the phone, then I'll feel like I need to get the watch, then I got to get the watches, which is going to cost more money. I'm saying.
But you know what though? The way you okay, I'm also thinking I'm thinking the same in that same area. At the same time, I think what you're getting at is that the names that match complement each other.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's because it's like getting a Samsung watch, Samsung phone with a Samsung pad, tablet. You know what I mean? That's just like how everyone gets Apple everything because and the reason why I say drop, you can airdrop it to your computer and you can airdrop it to your iPad. That's the same thing with the Galaxy. If you have your Galaxy, if you have your Android or Google Music, all that saves it to your account. So account plays a lot into it. I'm not sure if it's the same features with the watch, but I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this at, and you're in the same area.
To me,
Um,
it's like I'm a runner. I'm out there with an Adidas shirt,
with
Adidas
FUBU shoes,
sweats,
with
and
FUBU
Nike,
shoes.
yeah, and some other brand shoes. So I feel like I am like
Being sponsored, you're a sponsor, right?
yeah, I'm like a NASCAR. You know, I
There
have a
you
whole
go.
different. Okay. I see that. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
right.
I guess it really doesn't matter because I'm sponsored. I'm advertising for them different brands. So people are like, ooh, that's Samsung. Ooh, that's Motorola. Hmm. You
It
know.
kind of, you know what? It makes you look like a douchebag, dude. For real.
Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
seriously, man. Look, if you gotta get because you got a Samsung watch, and you now you're like, oh man, now I gotta get a Samsung phone. Oh man, now I gotta get a Samsung tablet. It makes you look kind of anal a little bit. Like I'm going, if I
Like I'm
go
an Apple fanboy, basically.
right, if I go to the, but see,
Right.
with Apple though, it makes sense. For some odd reason, it makes sense because you can't get, I can't use my phone for a Windows computer. You know what I'm saying? It kind of jacks up. But with Samsung, it really doesn't make it. Samsung, it doesn't really matter because everything is open source. With Apple, everything they have is locked. You understand what I mean? Come
Yeah,
on, man. Come on. Come
yeah.
on, man. Come on.
I know what you're saying.
Damn. Come on,
I
man.
mean, at least I'm still in the same ecosystem with Android. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can wear a Nike shirt with some New Balance or some Asics shoe runner shoes. It's
I've
all
seen people
about
do it.
right because the shoe is lighter, comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So whereas if you get a Nike shoe, it might be heavy. You're like, man, these shoes are heavy. You know what I'm saying? So bump all that, man. Do your thing. If you want to wear a FUBU shirt
No,
with
not. I'm not.
with some fat farm
I'm
jeans,
not.
hey man, do your thing,
I'm
man.
not.
With a polo hat.
If that was like 10 years ago, yeah, but no, nah,
Come
not
on, man,
anymore,
do your
man.
thing, man.
No,
Represent.
no, man.
NASCAR driver.
Shake and bake, Ricky Bobby. Yeah,
There
man.
you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
So let's talk about this G Watch, man.
Lovely.
I don't feel the same way.
It's pretty. Man, I know I said that about every other watch. Dude, have we haven't touched on that Samsung S1, have we?
We're coming back to it.
Oh, okay, all right. I know we're missing something. Um, I don't know really what to say about it.
I mean,
It looks like a watch. It This is one of the smartwatches that actually looks like a watch.
Okay, so that's debatable. All right, so we have a square watch. This is a classic watch style from the old days. You know, if you had a grandfather that had a watch on, he probably had a squarish looking watch. Okay, but for them to say it's not just you, it was me, and it's the tech blogger, everybody saying that around it looks like a watch.
Hmm.
Can you mistake it for anything else on your wrist, really? Like people are saying like it looks like a watch. Like this looks like a watch when it's on
No,
my wrist.
no, it does not.
It has the time. What else? What else could it be though?
It does not.
What else could it be?
No, it does not. Stop it. Stop.
What else? What else could it be?
does not look
No.
like a
I say this because when people saw it, they're like, "Your watch is cool." They didn't say, "What's that? Is that a watch?"
Would you stop it?
I'm serious.
Okay. If I saw the pebble on your wrist, the way the numbers are shaped, me being me, I would have automatically known that it's not a regular watch because does it stay like that all the time or does the screen go black?
Change watch face. All right, so it looks like that. So I changed the watch face.
Dude, I would know that's not a real watch.
Why would you not know that's a real watch?
Because something digitized about it. It's not a digital watch.
The G watch is still digitized, dude. What is the difference?
But it looks like a real watch.
That's subjective.
Dude, I can't look. I would walk and get my watch right now and show you exactly what that thing looks like, but I'm not going to leave this computer. It does not. It looks like a real watch. Come on, man. I got a real watch. I got a G-Shock, but it's over there. I can't get it.
I got a Polo watch somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Dude, you're killing me, man.
I don't know where it is.
Look, you're killing me.
All I'm saying is, majority of people wear the watch per se on their left hand, unless you're left-handed, then you wear it on your right hand.
I'm left-handed. I wear my watch on my right hand.
So I had a Fitbit, which was on my right. I don't even know what direction.
Wow.
And I had the watch on my left. No one mistaked what it was on my left. They saw it as a watch. Because guess what? When I was looking around, see what time it was. They saw the time. So if you see the time on it, what else are you going to mistake it for? What else? What else would be on your wrist if it doesn't look exactly like a wristband and it has a screen of some sort, digital, analog, doesn't matter. If it looks like it has the time on it, would you not assume that it is a watch?
No, because look, this is what I'm looking at. Look, you see that? Now, if this was a smartwatch, would you think it's a smartwatch or would you think it's a real watch?
I get your point.
Thank you. That's all I want you to say. That's all I want you to say. That's all I'm trying to get you to say, bro.
The visual aid helped, but still, the frame of it, everything looks like a watch that is a watch.
But it's a black screen.
Dick Tracy's watch was a watch.
Dick Tracy's watch was a radio. Come on, man.
It had time on it. It had a watch on it, though.
But it was a radio, though. Come on. Yeah, I know you saw that speak on that thing. That thing was big. Come on, man.
It was big. It was bigger than. I saw Dick Tracy that movie last month, actually. Hey, that movie was underrated. That's all I'm saying.
That watch was a speaker. And shout out to Dick Tracy because he was the first brother that had a smart watch, man. He brought it out.
Yes, sir.
He started it.
Well, no, Inspector Gadget. Well, that was after Dick Tracy, so I guess not.
Was it? Yeah. No.
Go Gadget.
No, man. Inspector Gadget was out. He was out first, man.
No, that was Penny's watch. I lied. That was Penny's watch.
Because she used to talk to Brain.
Penny's watch was fly, yo.
Right, and Brain had one too. Shout out to the dog.
Yeah, man. Hey, Brain was cooler than Scooby-Doo. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway.
Right, let's go.
The G Watch, the second iteration, the G Watch R, because the G Watch regular, piece of shit. I just want to say that. Can I legitimately say the first iteration of a G Watch was a piece of shit. Can I?
You
Can
can,
I?
yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
You can say that.
And it cost more than the Gear Live. The build quality sucked. The battery life only gave you 2 extra hours, which I don't know what that's going to do at the end of the day when you're going to sleep anyway. But it looked like a Pebble with Android Wear. And as much
Yeah.
as I love this and felt I had to buy it twice. Well, actually, you know what? This one, I had a red one, which I bought. I took it back.
Mhm.
This one was given to me for my birthday. I kept it
Mhm. Right.
because it was given to me for my birthday.
Birthday. Right.
Given to me. Given to me. From
Okay.
given. Okay. So I found the use case scenarios for it. Use it every day. Used it every day. I still have it. Still powers on. But look, the LG G Watch, the first one, was a piece of shit. Didn't have a heart rate monitor on it. Every other one does. This one, the R, it looks like it looks better. Okay, it looks a lot better. Build quality. It still does every same thing that every Android Wear watch does.
Would you say it's better than your Moto 360? Better looking? Now I heard it. From what the
Hmm.
G Watch, I heard it's chunky. It's heavier.
Yeah, I mean it feels like one of those metal ones, like a Fossil one, because Fossil is not light when you.
No, but they
But
got the weight on them.
I guess it feels more like a Fossil watch because that's metal and it has that ring around the dial
Mhm.
around it.
Right. That's a
It
good
uses
point.
my thing is it uses the whole screen, and I can't tell if the screen size is larger on the G Watch or smaller versus the 360. I'm gonna say it's smaller because I seen a lot more of the screen cut off on the G Watch R than the Moto 360. So I'm gonna say it's smaller, but the entire frame of it is the whole watch is larger. Mainly because they put the ambient light stuff in that dial that's on the side, which
Mhm.
I mean is smart. So you wouldn't have the half of the screen cut off or part of the
That's
screen
why
cut
I'm
off.
saying it looked like a real watch.
Yeah. I mean, look, it looks functionally and idealistically better than relatively. So the bezel on the Moto 360,
Uh-huh.
the bezel on the Moto 360 it looks better until you see that bar at the bottom.
But the only way you can see that bar at the bottom is when you start using the functions of it. That's the only way you start seeing it.
That's true. I'm
Otherwise, I don't think the average person would notice that or even care about that. Because if they a techie, they would notice it because they're looking at reviews on it. That's the only way. But the average Joe, they wouldn't care about that thing. They would say, "Oh man, this is a nice watch," and just start using it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't
until
think it would
somebody
matter.
says, "Hey, what's that bar at the bottom?"
Now you got to be nosy to actually, to
Open
say,
your
"Hey,
watch,
what's that bar at the bottom?" Then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, what's wrong with my watch?"
all up in your watch.
Right?
Do we have the pricing for this watch?
No.
I
Uh-uh.
I think it's 250. No,
The
is it
only
two?
watch, the only price we have is 360 and the Aces.
I
That's
want to
it.
say it's up there too because I mean, look, the first iteration of the G Watch was what 230. It ain't gonna be lower than that. I think this watch is higher than 250 if I'm not mistaken. That's a no buy for me. I'm sorry.
Jeez, man.
It's still a no buy.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. Let's go back to the last one we have because we got like 11 minutes. So we're gonna run through it really quickly because it's a smaller segment of people that are gonna buy it. You have to have a Samsung phone to buy this one, but it's the Gear S runs Tizen. Here's the thing about this one. I don't know if I got the exact screen size down, but it's at least 2 inches.
Pull a picture up.
All right, go ahead and talk about it more while I do that.
It's a 2-inch screen. Uh, it has its own SIM card. Uh, you don't need a phone at all for it. It's basically a phone on your wrist. So what Charlie and I have been saying for the past, I don't know, 15 minutes about these watches is that you're going to need a Bluetooth enabled device to use this watch, because we don't want to see you walking on the street talking to your wrist, talking to your hand, because you will look stupid. I can almost guarantee that.
There it is.
But you will not need a phone for it. You can, if you forget your phone at home, or if you say, "Hey, my phone is dead," you're not dead all by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know I said all phones are pretty, but it's a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
It's a big watch.
Huge.
And yeah, it's a huge watch for the simple fact that it is using its own SIM card. You know, I mean,
look at it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would buy that thing. You know what I'm saying? I would buy it, man.
It's nice.
The reason why I would buy it is because it's literally really outside of the box. You know, that with that curved screen and everything. I mean, come on, man. Who wouldn't buy it? Who would buy it? I know some people out there be like, "Man, you crazy."
First of all, who wouldn't buy it would be anyone that doesn't have a Samsung device.
Right.
That's still a large amount of people.
Oh my God, dude. That I would buy that phone, man. I would really buy that phone.
Here's the people that should be pissed off. I know people that bought the Gear, the Gear Neo, the Gear Fit, and the Gear 2.
Live. What about the Gear Live?
And the Gear Live. Well, I have the Gear Live. But,
you don't want to talk about yourself? Talk about yourself.
I mean, so I'm talking about the Tizen based and or overlaid by Samsung wearables. So someone who has bought the Gear 2 should be really pissed off, or needs to sell their stuff on whatever site, swappa.com, that to get their money back if they really want this, because I would feel buyer's remorse right now.
Right.
This is fire flame right now. The only thing about it to where you shouldn't be butthurt over it is if you're going to use this and have a smartphone, you're going to have to either trade out the SIM cards, and hopefully it has the same type of SIM card, or you're going to have to buy a separate data plan for this. That's the only downfall of it.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking that you mentioned that. I'm thinking that you might have to have a separate data plan for it. It's like adding a new line to your service.
And it's going to use minutes though, so it's going to have, it's not going to be like adding a tablet. It's going to be like adding another phone, and we don't know what the plans are that's going to be for it. Let's
not hope it does. Let's not hope it comes down to that. Let's just hope that, hey, if I want to use my watch for a while, then you could just swap out SIM cards. That's hoping for the best, but hoping for the worst, adding another line to your data plan. And for God's sake, or for your sake, let's just hope that you're gonna love that phone and you're gonna keep it, and it operates to the best of anyone's ability, because you got to do a separate line, man. You're gonna be paying. You're gonna be paying.
I mean, it's a nice watch though. I mean, it's huge. It's huge, and some of the notifications you're going to have to turn your wrist to see the rest of what's going on. But
I don't like the band. The band is too wide. So if my suggestion would.
What about the rest of the screen is wide as shit. Look at that.
Well, I would. My suggestion would be go black. Do not get no white. Don't get no white phone.
I have a dingy looking band.
Yeah, don't get no other band. I would say if you're gonna get a band, stick with that black one, because one, the black stands out. You're in the club, you're in a restaurant, and you're doing your thing. The first thing they're gonna say is, "What is that?" A wow factor. That's what that is.
Yeah. They're not gonna ask if. Well, this is the only one out of the discussion. If they're gonna be like,
"What is that?"
They're not gonna ask if it's a watch. They're gonna ask the rhetorical question. That's a watch?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it's I mean.
That's a bad phone, man.
As nerd, and
watch,
you don't know what to call. Yeah, you can call it anything. It's a phone and a watch. It's a I'm trying to think of a mashup word for a phone and
Don't do it.
watch, but
Don't do it. Don't do it.
it would be terrible. I
Don't
mean,
do it.
we made up a mashup word for phone and tablet. Somebody's gonna make up a term for this mashup of phone and watch.
Let them do it. Don't
It's
you do
gonna
it.
be
Let them do it.
horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them do it because I'm gonna be pissed off if they steal it, and I'm not gonna get any like credit or anything.
You know what? I'll bite. Go ahead. What is it?
Hold on. Let me think. Swarm. Swarm. No? No, okay.
Nah, man.
Swarm? I
Don't
mean,
no.
Tablet was ugly too until like a year later.
But it's stuck.
Swarm won't, I mean,
See, you can't even
Swarm?
talk. You can't even talk.
You just spit over everybody,
What?
but you get it out. Swarm. What's up? Hey, man, let me hold that swarm. That's a nice swarm right there.
Oh, man.
That's hard,
No,
right?
it's not. No.
Come on.
No, we're not going nowhere.
Hey, leave comments and see if you like Swarm. And
Whack.
no,
The comment is
Swarm.
whack, man.
What else would it be? Fotch. That's the
Man,
alternative.
just stop, man. See, that's why I said don't even say nothing. Let them do it. Let them do it, man.
Swarm or Fotch.
Nah.
Pick one in the comments. Thank you. We're gonna have that. We're gonna see who, and I want to do a prize. I want to do a prize for it. But no. Okay, so the smartwatches, the smartphones have been discussed. We have a few minutes left to keep it under hour and 30 minutes. So the main reason is I need to put this on iTunes, and if it gets too long, I can't. But you raised the question earlier, who would want a smartwatch? Now, before you answer that, I want to tell people about Android Wear. If you haven't looked at any reviews on Android Wear, here's the thing, okay? You can use a Pebble for notifications. You just look at it and dismiss it, your phone, and answer it. Cool thing. Hey, send me a text message real quick, or a Google Hangout message. So the cool thing about this Android Wear, and I stunned a few people with it already, just having it a couple of weeks. Stunned the people. People were like, you can do that with your watch? What happens is not only can you look at the notifications, it's coming through in a minute, not only can you look at the notifications, oh snap, I gotta turn the notifications back on. Hold on. There it goes. Alright. Not only can you look at the notifications, it's going to be upside down because I'm not going to twist my wrist all the way around. But this is from Karon. And it says, what up, homie? So we have a continuous conversation right here. Oh, this is going to hurt. But if I wanted to reply back to Karon, I just push the button that says reply via Hangouts. Watch how I do this. Nothing much, man. How are you doing? And then it's going to send it. Now, tell me how accurate that was when you get it. Tell me if it captured every last word that I said when you get it. Please tell me. Now, it's not always going to work that, especially if you mumble or if you stutter. But
Nothing much, man.
Thank you. So, the selling point of this is two things. If you use Google Now, which is awesome. Predictive everything. Give you scores, weather, whatever. You can talk to it, do Google search, whatever. That's a selling point. The other thing is you can reply via voice, which is awesome. Which hands down is a killer feature for me because what is the point of having notifications if you can't action on them? That was the major fault of the smartwatch when it first came in. The thing is, with the Gear S, I don't know if you can really do it as intuitively as you can with Android Wear. You definitely can't do anything of the sort with this because there's no microphone on here. You can't do any voice actions, anything. I could do something that says, okay, Google, show me my steps. And it'll show me the steps that I had to stop talking because listening to all that. But it would show you the steps that I had throughout the day. Take my heart rate. it has a heart rate monitor on it. So if you're a fitness buff, then it's great. Now here's a great thing that about Android Wear, and it's already 12:30. But here's a great thing about Android Wear and the Android Wear app. They're working into. Why is it going to the Play Store? Messing up, man. So the cool thing about it is they're adding a whole bunch of things in there. You're gonna soon be able, if you have the right app, to call a car, track your bike ride, and start a run. Which the battery life on it might go to shit after that. But I mean that's the capabilities of it. I could start a workout now. I could start a stopwatch. I could take a note and it'll go straight to Google Keep, which is the note-taking app, which is great. Evernote works with it. You can do dictation like that. It's great. So if you want to buy into Android Wear, do like I did. If you don't want to pay full retail price and you just want to buy into it and see how it works for you, go ahead and go to swappa.com.
Oh man.
Go to swappa.com. Great folks over there. Go to the Boneyard, go to whatever, go to swappa.com and see if you can find a mint conditioned with the box. Make sure you have mint condition with the box, just in case if something goes wrong with it. You have the box with the serial number and it's under warranty because it's less than a year old. You can send it back. And I had a story about this, which is funny. So I got to tell a story before we go, and you answer the question of who would want a smartwatch. I want to say this. Because whoever gets a Gear Live, I want to make you aware of something. I swear to Bob that I killed this thing the second day that I had it. I was, so the button is right here, and I had my wrist bent because I was doing push-ups, and it held on that power button for a while, okay? And all of a sudden, it wouldn't come back on after that. So I was like, holy crap, what happened? I killed it. So I chatted with Samsung technical support, and they emailed me a label to send this thing back. I was like, oh my gosh, I just bought this on swappa.com, and everything worked fine for a day, and I gotta send it back because I broke it. Oh man. So I realized by going through forums, watching or reading countless things with it, that you end up having to plug this into using a Motorola USB. So it came with the cord for Samsung, but apparently, for some reason, if you do something out of your control and not knowingly, it won't charge anymore, or if it goes dead all the way, you can't boost it back up or get it to turn back on unless you use a Motorola USB cord.
Wow.
Yeah. Other than that,
I don't want to say that. I'd say if you get the watch like how it's supposed to be bought or gotten instead of going through swappa.com, I'm guessing. Look, if you buy the phone from like work.
It cut you off for a minute.
I'm saying clearly it'll work if you buy the watch like how it's supposed to be bought instead of through Swappa.
No. I thought that too. I emailed the seller, and funny enough, I'm a part of the Google Plus community of Android Wear. These people bought it straight from Google Play, and they had the same issue. Crazy.
So are you saying like if in the future when I get the Galaxy S phone, Gear S, are you saying that I'm still gonna have to get a Motorola charger, or?
Don't know. I don't know because it's in conjunction with the charging dock. So it's not the watch itself. It's the charging dock, which is a separate piece that you plug a USB charger into, a micro USB charger into. So if the watch goes all the way dead, this is only if it goes all the way dead. If it goes all the way dead, you're going to have to find a Motorola USB to charge it up so it turns back on. Now, if it never goes dead on you, then you're fine. But it went dead on me. It drained the battery for some odd reason. It drained the battery all the way down to 0. And I went to work the next day because I was about to send it back, but something said take it to work, take the charge cradle with you, and I have a Motorola charge cord at work that I was using to charge my phone because I have a Motorola phone. So I plugged it up. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. Plugged it up. I was like, oh snap, it's charging. So I waited 10 minutes, turned right back on. I'm like, son of a bitch. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Good sell, but we'll see.
Swapper.com.
Swapper.com.
Yeah. All right, man. So the answer to the question, is it the right time, and who's going to buy a smartwatch? And in conjunction with that, which type? Squarish or roundish? Roundish.
Me? I'll buy. I'd say a lot more people will buy a round watch. Oh man, I don't know. Was that a rhetorical question?
No, it wasn't. No, because we still don't know how the and you were alluding to this earlier. The iWatch is going to be. It might be square too.
No, I think it'll be circle.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because all the prototype or whatever the images that they put on. It looked more like a Gear Fit than anything.
But have you seen that? Have you seen the there's an image of an iWatch out there. This thing looks like a Citizen watch with a leather band. I mean, it's real slick looking, man. I wish I can find the image, but it's I don't know. I kind of can't wait to see it. You know, and I think that once this breaks, because you know, we'll see what happens on the Apple release Tuesday, September 9th. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Are they going to reveal it, or are they going to like just brush it under the rug and pretend like we don't know about it, which we do? So it will behoove of them to reveal this thing so people can stop, you know, pooping themselves.
Hey, can you spell behoove?
Yeah, Behoove. Bam! Look at that. You can't even say nothing. You can't even say nothing. Look at you. And I just guessed that.
Wait, you just guessed that? Hold on.
Yeah, man.
That means you don't know if you're right.
Nope, sure don't.
Hold on, because you could just make it. Hold on.
I sure can.
How do you spell it?
Behoove.
Son of a.
All right?
Yeah.
Yo, man, look at that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, at least one of us can spell.
Yeah, man. You using big words, and you just said you can read, but I'm not going to call you out on that.
Hey, look, I can't recall the spelling of it, okay?
Whatever.
It is not. Look, I can read because I can sound out, and I can make it work. Hey, if it looks like behoove, it's behoove. It's not going to be watch, okay?
I'm just saying, man. You try to call me out, bull.
Look, you read behoove and you weren't sure, so you said you guessed the spelling.
But hey, that's right.
Don't
but I was
judge me.
confident enough. I was confident enough to know that I was right. That's what matters.
You were confident in your guessing ability to sell that to me without me having, in hopes that I wouldn't double check.
But I knew you would double check. That's why you was like, wait, how did you spell that? And I told you, you was like, man, I don't know. See, so it's all good though. I got you. I know how you work.
One of the few words that is spelled like it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flood, which is F-L-O-O-D. It should be F-L-U-D. That's a whole nother show. We can get into that later. It's a whole nother show. But let's wrap it up. So you're not sure about the round or the squarish right now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Give me a week on the show. Give me a week.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
We will have a show next week. Not sure of the day, but next week. And it's going to be all iPhone. I don't know if they're going to do iPad. I'm sure they probably are. iWatch, whatever products they have. Not so much the computers, I guess, but you know, if they come out with a. I think they already came out with a new version of the Air and whatnot. So they usually don't do all that in one, but
They should. I
but
think they
yeah,
should.
they
I think they
should.
should.
It'd be
Yeah.
long as hell though.
That's
Golly,
all right.
it'll end up being like unbearably able to watch like the Samsung thing. But
Right.
all right. So tell people how to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at KBrownSR20. You can find me on Facebook at KronBrownSR or Kron Brown Senior. You can find me on Instagram at Clark_Kent30. You can find me on Google Plus on KBrownSR, what, SR20? I don't know. Uh, you know, but yeah, man, it's been a joy to be back. I'm happy to be back, and let's just keep the ball rolling, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, people are glad that you're back. They're clapping. K-Rod's back. Yes,
I don't
K-Rod's
even,
back.
and I don't even know half of the people, but that's all right though.
Hey, man. So, the show's gonna be on iTunes if it's not too long. If it's too long, I'll try to figure out how to shorten the file. So, subscribe to the show on iTunes. Search on iTunes or your favorite podcast catcher. This is important because don't rule it out if you have Android. You have a podcast app that you can search for This Mobile World. 3 words. Make sure you follow all of us, well, both of us, sorry, on social networks. You know where to find me. You found the shows. I don't have to tell you. So subscribe to the channel, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe on whatever manner of podcast, whatever crap that you can find. And it's a wrap. So we'll see you next week with some more news, mobile news, and we're gonna have some Apple news. We're gonna have some gripes. We're gonna have some praise. We're not Android or Apple fanboys, so we'll go ahead and be balanced as possible. Thank you for watching, and let's go have a good weekend. Oh, we done killed it. Oh, all right. Have a great one.